So one of the most common questions we get asked in our communities is around weight gain, and specifically related to perimenopause and to menopause, because your body starts to change during these phases. And there's three areas I want to discuss with you today to understand these physiological changes that are occurring and how it impacts on how you manage your weight. And it's not about being a 17-year-old supermodel. It's more about being happy with your weight and having the understanding the tools to manage your weight naturally so you can be happy and healthy and vibrant. So let's have a look at it. There's three areas I want to discuss. So the first is perimenopause. So as your body enters perimenopause, a natural shift occurs with your hormonal profile. So your progesterone levels start to reduce. Now, this is the natural process during perimenopause, and there's a lot of discussion out there about women becoming deficient in perimenopause of progesterone, but this is what your body actually wants to do. So don't be afraid of this. It's just the start of this perimenopausal journey. But what happens is when your progesterone levels start to drop, your estrogen levels become unopposed. So not necessarily your estrogen levels raising, but they don't have that buffer, which is progesterone, which is you've had during your life prior to that. Now, unopposed estrogen can cause weight gain. It can cause fluid weight gain, and it can cause the fat cells to enlarge. And that's what estrogen does. And that's why they used to give estrogen to livestock, because it increases weight. We know that. So this is this phase during perimenopause, and the body's actually doing it for a reason, because when you hit menopause, the body uses its fat cells as a source of estrogen. So it is quite normal, and it's that changing of your body shape as you head into perimenopause and menopause. And if you can understand that and embrace that, then I don't think it's such of a shock for women. But often women feel that they're just putting on weight, and there is that natural biological process. The second phase is intermenopause, and what happens is there's a complete flip. Whereas before you had this unopposed or excessive estrogen in your system, then the estrogen production from your ovaries turns off. So you end up with this estrogen, let's call it a deficiency, but it's not a deficiency, because this is what your body's trying to do. It wants to reduce your progesterone and your estrogen because your fertility is finishing. It has no real need for those particular hormones once your fertility finishes. It changes to an alternate hormone system from your adrenal glands. And these are more androgen male-based hormones, but they have the same beneficial effects as estrogen and progesterone in terms of protecting your heart health and your bone health, but without those fertile options. So the body's reducing its progesterone, which causes estrogen to become elevated or unopposed in perimenopause. Then in menopause, your estrogen levels drop out. Now, what that signals to the body is to then protect those fat cells, because it needs them for that small amount of estrogen that the body will be producing. So this can be a real bugbear for women, because it becomes a lot harder to lose that fat, because the body is in a way protecting them, because it wants for that estrogen production in smaller amounts. Now, there is a hack around this that I'm going to talk to you about. And if we support that natural transition and we support your body's own hormone production, primarily from the adrenal glands, your body will be less reliant on those fat cells. And that's the key. So your body will be less reliant on those fat cells in menopause if your alternate hormone system from your adrenals kicks in. The third piece to this puzzle, and it's included in the total picture, but it's slightly separated, has to do with your insulin resistance. And you might have heard that it's become quite popular. And what that means is your body and how it deals with sugar levels. And when we're either drinking too much alcohol or eating too much sugar, your body becomes insensitive to that sugar in a way. The body doesn't utilize that sugar. And what can happen is the glycogen levels or sugar levels in your liver start to accumulate. And this is where we see a lot of women with fatty livers, because they've been consuming too much sugar. And for you to effectively lose weight during this stage of life, we need to deplete those glycogen levels and balance out your insulin resistance levels and make your body more sensitive to insulin levels. And that's how we get, so you're not putting on weight quickly and you can sustain a healthy weight that you're happy with. So how do we do that? Right. So first of all, as I said, understand that your progesterone levels are going to drop, and understand in menopause that your estrogen levels are going to drop. Now, the way around that is to support your own natural healthy hormone production. So the way we do that is by supporting your adrenal glands. So managing your stress levels, making sure you're sleeping well, exercising regularly, and of course, eating well. So everything that you can do in terms of a healthy lifestyle, support your adrenal glands. And the healthier your adrenal glands, the more your natural hormone production of these alternate androgen hormones that I was talking about will occur. Then your body will be less likely to hoard and hold on to those fat cells, and you'll be able to maintain a healthy weight. So with diet, lifestyle, but also natural medicines can assist you in this phase. So think products like Happy Hormones, for example, just support and act as a tonic for your hormonal system. And they help that, they support that natural physiological process that happens. And I'm constantly hearing this situation from the medical community where they're terming perimenopause and menopause as disease states, and they're looking to use pharmaceuticals to treat perimenopause and menopause. But it's a natural transitionary process. And when you actually put back progesterone and estrogen in the form of HRT, you're blocking that natural transitionary effect. So you're prolonging the process of perimenopause and menopause, and you're actually working against what the body's trying to do. So our approach is actually to support what the body wants to do. And that's where natural medicines can help, Happy Hormones. There are also other herbal medicines particularly, and vitamins and minerals that support adrenal health. So a very popular one at the moment is a herb called withania or ashwagandha, and that's a really nice adrenal tonic. There's another one called rhodiola. Vitamin C, zinc can all be really supportive of adrenal health, and they're actually all in one of our products called Happy Calm. So, but the most important thing is eating a balanced diet, and we see so many things about ketogenic or carnivore diets or low carb diets. Our bodies fundamentally were meant to eat a balance of protein, carbohydrates, and fats. And when you remove any one group, even if you're removing all proteins, you're just removing a huge source of calories. So yes, you can help to manage the weight, but at what cost to your overall metabolism and your overall health? So in terms of diet, we have our free dietary programs and guidelines, which are just sensible eating. They're using unprocessed foods, focusing on fiber and our microbiome in our digestive tract, and let the body get enough calories that it needs for your time of life. And you can then support healthy, sustainable, vibrant health for many years to come. So let me summarize what's happening here again. In perimenopause, you're getting that drop in progesterone levels. It's normal. That allows estrogen to become unopposed. So estrogen puts on weight. Then you get a flip into menopause where you become deficient in estrogen, and the body hoards its fat cells because it's producing some of the hormones that it needs. The hack around that is to support your own body hormone production from your adrenal glands. You do that through sleeping well, you do that through managing your stress levels, and you can do that through natural medicines as well. Now, I mentioned this other part to the scenario, which is this insulin resistance. So the way around that and reducing your overall glycogen levels, because that is stored in the liver, and you won't lose weight whilst your liver is still holding too much glycogen. So exercise is critically important here, that you're getting regular, longer exercise where you're elevating your heart levels up to sort of 130 to 150 in a prolonged period of time. That's really important to drain those glycogen levels. But if you're maintaining glycogen levels within your liver, you're not going to lose weight until they diminish. So avoiding alcohol, avoiding simple sugars is really important to start to assist with that insulin resistance in your glycogen levels. And then after a month or so, then the weight will start to come off. And this is really important to understand, as a lot of people will go onto diets and they're expecting results quickly. But if you've got insulin resistance and you've got elevated glycogen storage in your liver, then it's going to take time for you to lose weight, and you need to drain those glycogen levels primarily through exercise, avoiding alcohol and sugar. And then when the glycogen levels come back to a sustainable level, then the weight will start to come off if you're eating the right foods. So it's It certainly is a difficult time of life because of this change in how your body wants to manage its weight levels. But as I said, the hack is to support that healthy hormone production yourself. Eat a balanced diet, exercise, sleep, stress management, and then you can use those natural medicines to support that healthy hormone production. Another tool that you can use just to minimize that overall calorie intake are things like healthy protein supplements that are low in calories. Our Happy Weight can help you do that. Or another simple way is through intermittent fasting. So what that does is it helps to reduce those glycogen stores in your liver, and it reduces your overall calorie intake. So I find that really effective at this stage of life, and just reducing the overall caloric intake that way, either through like things like Happy Weight, intermittent fasting, and then using those natural medicines and a healthy diet to regulate your weight. And what this is, the way I like to term it, is sustainable weight management. It's certainly not a diet, and it's more of a system that you can implement that will serve you well for years and years to come. And you can't just continue to do what you were doing in your 30s, because your body's changing. And it comes at a certain time in life, all of us, men and women, around the age of 40 to 50, where we have to start to look after ourselves. We have to support that organ function. We have to eat well, and we have to support our metabolism, because things change, because our body doesn't work as efficiently as it used to. So if you accept that and embrace what I call a wellness lifestyle, which is having fun, it's exercising, becoming part of sporting groups, eating well, unprocessed foods, sleeping well, and nourishing your body, then your body will be fine. It'll regulate itself. But in the world we live today, I just see it's becoming quite disjointed in terms of the processed foods that we're eating, the amount of technology, the amount of stress. We really have to step back at this time of life. And I'm just approaching 50 now, and I just know that I need to nourish my body more than I might have previously to get the same out of my body. And we tend to expect the same things as when we're in our 30s and still doing the same things when we're in our 30s. So I hope you enjoyed this, and there's more information in all of our content on our website, in our articles. And if you like this information, share it, and we look forward to bringing you more information in the future.